Uh, well, hello, YouTube. Uh, I wanted to grab some kind of funny sentence. Start
Oh,
recording.
sorry.
No, you're good.
The Sasuke in Fortnite is ridiculous to me. I love it. Was that better?
Yeah, that works. But anyhow, welcome back. You know who you. At this point, if you're watching this, you probably already know who we are. RWBY Studios, Remnant, Lunar Archon. Hi. 23rd session, doing good, still alive, going. Yeah, pretty much that. Hi, hello. I'm gonna stop saying hello now and actually go on to,
And now we shall say goodbye.
And now we shall say goodbye. Goodbye, and still keep the recording. We're not actually leaving, but it would be funny if I stopped the recording here and then had like 3 hours of
Just Bob.
Of just a picture of Bob. And then just uploaded that to YouTube and forced people to recognize its existence, but I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm going to tell us about what happened last session.
Bob doesn't get the recognition he deserves.
Bob doesn't get any recognition because he deserves none. But yes, anyhow. I guess I should make sure I've selected Bob so that the audience can see things. Technically, Bob is the method by which the audience sees whenever y'all are on a map.
He's the audience surrogate.
Yep, that is the entire reason for his existence. That and to let me test out mods and stuff. Wild sheep.
Mm-hmm. Listen, audience surrogates are oftentimes the main character, so we all exist as a side character in Bob's story. Am I wrong?
Yes, but also no. I mean, you're wrong about it being Bob's story. Bob has no power here. But you're right that audience surrogates tend to be the main character and tend to have some kind of amnesia or something so that people ask questions. Yeah. Where was I? Last session? Last session. You spoke to Rusty. And after speaking to Rusty, taking a few minutes figuring out as it's all coming back to me. You spoke to Rusty. She effectively gave you a job using legal doublespeak, saying, "Hey, why don't you get some evidence on this guy's crimes, but then send it to me and my company anonymously so that things don't happen, and so that things will happen without having issues with legal problem." So y'all were like, cool. And y'all got kicked out of the inn you were going to because you left a body in a cart for a child to find.
Whoopsie.
Happens to the best of us, you know? Haven't you ever left a body in a car for a child to find, you know? And then, just to be clear legally, I did not do that. I've never done that. To be clear. But you ended up going to the other inn, got some hearsay about a potential black market deal for a magic item at the store you want to buy stuff from and get a discount. That's happening from the hearsay you heard. Apparently, the next night at 1 a.m., that'll be the night of the 21st, currently 10:30 a.m. on the 20th, y'all then decided it would be a good idea to go to Ulrich's house and see if he was there. He wasn't. So instead of asking him questions, y'all instead broke in, were seen breaking in, and then after you broke in and found expertly his hidden wall safe in his upstairs room, you found a box that you opened, and found documents and letters inside. Most of you then shuffle downstairs as Doug's old co-worker that he's on pretty good terms with, if I remember correctly, or at least was on pretty good terms with. We'll see how that goes. Was like, knock knock, open up. It's the police, but they're not the police. They're the Orange Sun. So then y'all went downstairs, and Doug stuck a chair in the oven fireplace thing to stop the one of the members of the Orange Sun from teleporting down like he did. After that didn't work out, a Velander kicked the door open and stepped inside. And last thing we saw on the session, and where we'll pick back up, a Velander who, let's see, let me go ahead and share art. Shoot. Oh, I should also change the D&D to the gameplay on the player on the stream side. Good job, stream. Good job, me. Doodle-a-doo. Do I have images? Did I remember to put images? I don't know that I remembered to put images. Well, time to import images live on camera. Load. I believe in you, computer. Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe you don't deserve my belief, but you have it nonetheless. Remember, you're better than Bob. Come on. NPC images. Open the file. Open the file. Sorry for the technical difficulties, but it really wouldn't be a session without them, you know? I know that image file already exists. I don't want that image file. I want a different image file. You loaded too fast. But also too slow. You know, like when you're clicking on a thing and then it loads that thing and then the thing behind it, but you didn't want the thing behind it. While I get that done, Doug. Well, of course, as soon as I say that, it loads. Where are you?
Where are you?
Where are you?
And I'm so sorry.
Where are you? Well, of course, now that I've given it attention, it's slowing back down. Doug, you are holding a chair in the fireplace. You heard someone land on it, and they called outside. The door was shattered open, handle breaking, and in stepped the fairly tall man. This is why I don't need to close my notes. Now I need to make sure that Vlad is. I believe I said he was a half elf. We're gonna go with that. He's a half elf. As this half elf, holding a chain weapon similar to what you use, wearing relatively light armor. Steps into the room, looks over, and he said, "What did he say?" "Oh, Doug, what have you gotten yourself into?"
Hey, Vladdy, what's up?
"Well, I just saw some people breaking into this building. Wouldn't happen to know why they'd be doing that, would you?"
Well, the person you saw was me.
Right?
But my big question is, since you busted the door wide open, what are you doing here?
Well, we saw someone disturbing the peace. Breaking in, we thought we'd check it out. We saw others, not just you. We want to make sure you weren't running with a bad crowd.
No, they're a pretty good bunch, actually. Just, doing a job as usual. I take it that's why you're here? Or at least in
Ah,
the area?
we're getting some work done. We actually, in the squad, as you see a couple more people standing like on the other side of the doorway. Just finished up an accompaniment. Thought we might do some freelance work before we head back north.
Okay, any big holes?
Nothing yet. There's a couple of small fry things on the boards, but not a whole lot. I mean, there's some crime in town, but nothing big that I'm aware of. Nothing worth our time, most certainly. Which makes me wonder, what are you and your little crew doing here? You need help? Is it something important you're working on?
I think we got it. I mean, some of them might need a little work, but I think the group I'm with is very manageable when it comes to this task. I honestly don't know all of the details. I was told it was like on a need to know. But I know it has something to do with this. So like Doug removes his hands from the chair, but he still puts his like body weight, like his legs, just on the back of it to prevent it from moving. And he like slowly reaches into his pocket and pulls out one of the vials of the mimic goo.
Interesting. Some kind of drug smuggling operation here.
Not necessarily drugs, more of like material engineering.
Ooh. Let's see.
Yeah, this we pulled off of a mimic a while back.
Mimic. So why does it matter here then?
That's a great question, and that's something I don't have information to. I was just told to collect something for it and to be on my way.
Ah, that's what your crew are doing here then.
Correct.
I see. Where
But
are these
like,
lot? Are they hiding out somewhere else in the building?
I
All of
mean,
you are, still able to do.
like I said, I'm just with this group. None of them are part of our group, as you could tell, but I'm just tagging along to make sure their job is accomplished, whatever that job is.
Yeah. Working with outsiders is a dangerous decision.
Well, yeah, but some people we work for, um,
Have some stipulations, yeah.
yeah. So
Fair point, fair point.
my main goal was to make sure that we could get in and get out without anything being noticed, but you did like break the door down.
Yeah, as he looks down at it. Yes, I did. Can you make me a persuasion check?
Sure. Going to use a hero point.
That's fair.
Persuasion. Let's see.
in this time, or any of the rest of you doing anything?
I am a spider on the wall.
On the wall in there, or on the wall in the basement?
In the basement.
What about the rest of you?
I'm waiting for a scream or yell or any kind of sign from Doug to
Fair.
be like
Same.
all right, it's popping off.
Uh-huh. Well, you seem pretty confident in what you're doing. I wouldn't stick around outsiders too long. You know the bosses don't love that. But who am I to tell you to stop? After all, you're big man. You can do it on your own. You mind letting Sheena out?
Yeah.
Points over to the fireplace.
Yeah, sure. Do you mind pitching in a few to fix that door?
Are you planning on fixing it before you leave? Because I don't know you'd manage time. I'd say we have 2 minutes, maybe 3, before someone who saw one of our groups coming in probably tell the guard.
I mean, I think I have a person capable of doing that on my squad. I just need the resources. So if you don't mind
Okay.
just pitching in a few silver so we can
He pulls out a couple of silver and tosses 3 silver your way. I will say that helps out. Good luck with everything.
thanks. But yeah, next time we meet up, if something's going on and you need help, just holler and maybe we can, do another one like old times.
Of course. It's always a pleasure to work with you, and it's been a while. I'd be interested in seeing how it goes.
Yeah, maybe we'll catch up for drinks at the inn later.
That'd be fun. Mind letting her out?
Yeah, so Doug, takes his weight off the chair, pulls it back, sets it back wherever it was.
All right, and as you do, pretty instantly, as you pull it out of the fireplace, there is immediately as this person falls, there is a shift and the appearance of orange energy. In the same way that you do, that moves over to the opposite side of the room next to Valander, and then the same sound as this person teleports across the room, and you see a woman in relatively heavy armor, someone you recognize as one of the more defense-oriented sentinels, who work largely in the... Usually, the sentinels are sent out to protect caravans, guard royals, or anybody who can afford bodyguards, things like that. As this woman who... Let me grab a thing, because I have listed what her race is. Where are you? Where are you?
And I'm so sorry.
Is it an automaton?
She's a human. She stands up, in one arm, a fairly large shield that you're kind of impressed she got down the chimney with. On the other hand, a long spear that has this flange tip at the end that seems like it would effectively keep anything that she stabbed from going down the shaft. Is that it then? So you don't want to do anything, Valander? Glances over to her. No, I think we're all right. And here, one more. He tosses another silver over. I hope everything works out. 2 minutes. As him and the others, as he steps out the door, and Sheena gives you a dark look, before following him as they leave.
So, they leave as in...
They step out the door and begin to walk away.
Okay. Doug will kind of prop the door back up, just to close from any, prying eyes. and then he will go downstairs.
Okay, you prop up the door with, because pretty much effectively the handles them. And you step downstairs to see the others, kind of huddled up, moving off to the side.
What
You
happened?
enter in.
Do we have everything we need? Because we need to go.
I think so. I think so. Let's get out.
Hey Maverick, are you able to fix a door?
I mean, probably. How
Because
fast?
they said we had 2 minutes.
Let's see if he has woodworking.
Does he have the Minden cantrip?
That's what I'm thinking about. They
Can
probably would have
I-
broken.
Can I help with my mason tools and give him advantage if he does anything?
If I can get 1 minute, I can get it back together.
Great,
You have
because
enough time?
that's all we have.
He runs up to the door and he begins to pull out these different tools. And you can see bits of magic as he carves different runes and begins to effectively trace along the break in the door as it broke around the handle. Begins to trace along it with this magical goo that seems to be sealing itself back over and like almost glue-like, but it also seems to be erasing the crack in time as he uses. Are the rest of you doing anything during this 1 minute?
Yeah, to see what's like if people are coming or whatnot. If people have noticed.
try
Or
to
no,
check
no, no,
and see
no,
if-
no, 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 no. This is what I'm going to say. I'm going to say, how are the repairs coming? And act like we're supposed to be there, like repairing on the house.
Make a deception check.
All right.
The images are not functioning because for some reason they're in a weird file format. That's JFIF, a GIF file. Not something I recognize, and it's not something that Fantasy Mouse recognize. So I will try and get those images for next time or at break. All right. And is anyone looking out for guards? I assume someone is.
I mean, Doug is.
All right, make a perception check, and in the meantime, I would like Maury and Chris, both of you roll a d20.
As they start looking, if it seems like anybody is coming or whatever, then I have a plan after that.
Okay. The first 30 seconds pass as you wait, looking. Doug, you're watching out, carefully looking at the other windows, and you do see a curtain close in one of the windows across the street. But you don't see the person behind it. You wait. 40 seconds. 50 seconds. And as you see Maverick finish up, the file seals back on and he sets the door back into place. And it closes. Okay, I don't know if I got the lock right. The lock might be a little off, but that's not really our problem.
Just as long as we can get out and shut the door.
Yep. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
You immediately hurry out, all of you looking around, keeping a close eye around you, checking around, glancing. You close the door quietly, stepping out. Which direction are you going? East or to the west? The west, actually, it would be the south and to the north. Are you going north uptown or south back to the docks?
I don't know. Which way should we go?
I say we go in all directions. So, like, start going in one and then make a circle.
Okay.
I need Gambit to roll another d20.
Just flat.
Flat d20.
Can I use
Okay.
a hero point?
Oh, isn't that
Okay.
gonna check?
Used.
Thicket, I assume you're still riding on Garon's shoulder?
Yeah.
So what are you doing? What are all of you doing?
Skimpering away. Where did Rusty say that she was from?
Darvishi Couriers.
Okay. I'm going to. Are we? So we're splitting up.
I don't think that's the best idea unless we're not going too far apart. All,
No, Doug was.
all it takes is for them to corner one of us.
All right. We need to get this information to Rusty as quickly as possible. So let's beeline that way. That's my suggestion.
Should we like trickle around, kind of go an indirect route, just in case someone's like
Sure.
someone
Good.
saw?
Doug, roll me a d20.
DM is trying to scare us.
It's working.
Okay, continue. So which direction are you going? Doing?
You said there was 2 directions, correct?
Yep, north and south. You're on a street.
And
We're gonna go the long way around, the one with the prettiest of views. It's got sights. It's got
So you're
shivers.
heading
Something.
south? You heading south then?
Yes.
All right. As you move south, at the last possible moment, at this point, it's been about 2.5 minutes as you move down the walkway. I need each of you. Let's see. Have 2 of you can aid, and then 1 of you make a stealth check for the.
Good. So if people want to aid me,
Who would like? I guess Garon and Doug. Both of you roll stealth checks, and if you get above a 12, it'll give a +2 to Gambit.
got it.
okay.
All right.
I get a +2.
+4 actually, but yeah, go ahead and make the
All right.
deception check on behalf of the group.
So I'm going to just roll straight dex, and then it adds +2 +4 to 19. So that's 23.
You do have a deception of +6.
What?
You
Or
originally said
did I say
stealth check.
stealth?
You
Okay.
said stealth?
So even that, total of 23. Yep, alright. As you move away, you kind of telling the others, like, alright, quiet, looking on inconspicuous. You all separate a little bit as you move the south direction and you get toward the end. You do hear the clamoring of footsteps and just glance behind you as you turn around the corner, and you do see guards heading toward the door, and as they go up to it, they knock on the door. They don't hear anyone respond. They call inward. They don't hear anyone respond. And then you see a guard leading a older middle-aged woman down the street toward it as she's pointing out the house, and they begin to ask her questions as you all slip away.
Yay!
Yeah, I didn't trust Vladdy that much. I figured he would have told somebody.
Or we just
Yeah.
might have been seen.
If y'all weren't seen, he definitely. As you slip away from the scene of the crime, where are you heading next? As the sun reaches toward noon.
Is this the town that has the shop, the store for
The magic shop?
Yeah.
It is.
Because at some point I would like to go back and get one of those cantrips.
You're also aware that should you get back the thing that was stolen from him, he's offered you guys a 15% flat discount.
Then Doug will wait until after.
That's fair.
Take for us to get to
Dervishi Couriers? Do you know where Dervishi Couriers is?
No.
Interesting.
Hey guys, do you remember where we're supposed to go? Because we need to go there ASAP.
I thought we were told, but if we can't seem to remember after that confusion and incident, then I don't see that there'd be harm asking around.
Wait.
Okay, in that case, I look around to see if there's anyone.
You see a young woman.
Hi there.
Hello.
We are looking for the Da Vinci Couriers.
Dervishi Couriers?
Oh yeah. That's them. Do you know where they might be located?
Yeah, they're up toward the north side of town, near the northern exit. Or that's where their main office is. We're actually the main drop-off point too for all your. Do y'all need something delivered? Is that?
Oh yes, yeah. We got a package that we need to deliver, and thank you so much.
You're welcome. He looks over you all, seeing the weapons. You're welcome. I have some things to get to.
Yeah. No, don't let us keep you.
Thanks.
We're gonna get out of here. See ya. Maybe
right.
never.
That works. Bye.
Bye.
As she effectively scurries off, seemingly slightly intimidated by you all. And also, I got the images to work.
Yay, images!
Boom. That's effectively what Velander looked like. And that's what Sheena was wearing. Though her spear was, didn't have the blades on each side, it effectively just had prongs. That word. So you're heading up north toward the gate?
Correct. We're going.
Following the woman's directions and keeping an eye out as you walk, you head up through the Emerald Plaza, the same spot where you'd went shopping the day before, and you see out again are various shops, various people selling things. Vendors yelling out that even yell out to you as you go past. You see, as you reach toward the north side, in an open spot, notes. You see a group of performers. There are the Do-Do-Do-Doos, the well-known performance group, the Do-Do-Do-Doos. They show up every stream.
And the Doodly Doos.
And the Doodly Doos. They're actually the rival group. There's the Do-Do-Doos and then there's the Doodly Doos. Occasionally bump to the bums, but they don't show up very often.
These are just names of K-pop songs.
I really know. Yes, you see a street performer who, at this point, is holding up 4 different spinning plates, one on each thumb and pinky, that he's holding up and shifting around as these plates at different heights are spinning. As there's a few people gathered watching him, a hat set on the ground, a couple of people that seem to be with him standing near the back, actually, with a couple of different things. It looks like someone is doing something with a stick with these 2 cloths on the end of it, seemingly preparing for his turn as you look around. And as you do walk past Thicket, you do see there are a couple of kids moving through the crowd, getting quite close to people that you notice, bumping into people, getting somewhat almost in the way, as you'll be able to tell at a glance, even as a spider, seeing them pretty clearly. But as you walk past, you continue your way up toward the north end of town, and you see a fairly large, relatively large building that has written on the front in red paint, Darvishi Couriers, with 2 entrances, and over toward one side there does seem to be this bin with a flap lid that you can effectively put things into, but have a hard time taking things out. Similar to effectively a mailbox. Set off to one side, that has a label on it that says in city mail.
All right.
We've reached our our destination.
Oh, and also, who is carrying the documents?
That's a good question. I think it's Garan. Garan has like the ledgers.
Garon has the documents, and Gambit
Document-
has the letters.
Letters and the gold.
Okay.
Thicket's going to be keeping an eye out for pickpockets.
Heading up to the thing itself, or when you were going through the shopping district?
Ever since he saw the kids.
Moving up, you do not see any path. Could have given you... Here we go. Now, Garan, you have the shipping sign-offs and stack of manifests in your... Whether you want to look at them is up to you. Gambit, I'm going to drop the letters into your inventory. Feel free to open those if you want to. You don't have to, though. The letters are open, but they are closed. What you do is you get up to Darvishi Couriers. You arrive at the building.
I guess we go in.
Stepping into which door? Are you going to the door on the left or the door over to the right? The door over to the right does have a sign, a small sign that says offices.
As I just blinked out on whether or not you said right or left.
Right says offices. Left has no sign on it.
Okay, right. Then.
You walk in and see there is... effectively, you enter into a hallway that off to the left in this opening up chamber, there is a woman off to the side, effectively to the side of the hallway, on a small desk as she looks up. Yes, can I help you? As you look at this, actually fairly tall, furball woman. You haven't run into one yet, but effectively a fairly tall woman with pale skin, this long hair, this very large, almost cattle-like nose, and these large ears. Yes, what can I do for you? I don't recognize any of you. Are you sure you should be over here and not in the deliveries off to the other side?
We are looking for Rusty. Is she available, present?
Yes, potentially. Who can I say sent? Who is asking for her?
Friendly neighborhood.
Let her know, Grand, and
Yeah.
Friendly neighborhood
come on.
Gorond and
The messengers.
messenger. Like, are you searching for job to be messengers here?
That's
'Cause
like
if you're looking for, I can get you some forms if you're trying to.
no. Oh no. There's some misunderstandings. See, our group, our adventuring party name, we're called the messengers. But
you're
hey,
freelancers then.
yeah. But if I'm ever out of work or something, I'll come back and I
Sure.
bet being a messenger here is quite lovely.
Oh yes, it pays fairly well, and we pay for your travel expenses while you're out.
Yeah.
You can travel anywhere over Vacuo, and we do have once a month we do have shipments that go over onto Vale, where we're delivered to a separate courier group that works over there. But the Dervishi couriers mainly work in Vacuo. But yes, I'll be right back. I'll go let her know.
Thank you so much.
DM. I
Yes.
just checked my notes. We have met a Frivoled before in Feldspar. We have met a Frivoled before in Feldspar.
Right? Yes, you did. I think.
And then there's
Oh, that was
Apollo.
the guy. It was Apollo. Apollo is a purple.
We got potions from him.
You did.
No, it's the shop owner. The flower shop owner.
While we're waiting,
Both.
Gambit is gonna motion to Grant. Hey, Grant. I've been peeking at these letters, and they tell quite a story. It looks like he's being blackmailed by something to about his sister. Something like there's a wedding invitation in here and stuff. So I don't know how much this changes, but we need to make sure that it's handled properly so that his sister is not in danger.
You mind if I see them while we wait?
Sure. I show him the wedding invitation and the letter from the HRP.
Okay, I'll go ahead and press the button. This should make it show up in the chat. I don't know if that did not show up for y'all, but it should have. I think that's how that works. And since this is an audio medium, would one of you like to go ahead and read those out loud?
Reading is not my strong suit.
Garand or Gambit, since they'd be the ones actually reading it.
I can do it, but be forewarned, I am dyslexic, so it might not be 100% accurate.
I mean,
Alright.
you're wearing an eye patch, so it makes sense there'd be some mistakes.
All right, okay.
It's canon. Don't worry.
Yeah, it's canon. Gambit has dyslexia.
You are cordially invited to witness the holy matrimony of Persilith Finney
Yes, Fiend.
and Lena Morning, taking place at 2 p.m. on Friday at 10th of February at the Chapel of Three Divines in the Dusk Quarter of Sheer. The following is written with a different handwriting. Oh, Elric, I'm so very excited. I just know that Mom and Dad would have loved to be here. I'm spending a bit of money to cover your travel expenses just as long as you can come. Your loving sister, Lena Morning. Okay, this is the letter from HRP. Description. Okay, yeah. Alright, your struggles have been heard. Your debts will be paid, your home returned to you. If you will follow our orders, you will divert critical resources from CQ, KN, CR, CC, DK, BS, and toward SH, DT, RF, GS, GN. You are also tasked with showing Discord within DC and framing Miss D for anything you can. Unseat her. Do not fail us or face the consequences. How is your sister? The House of RP.
Man. All right. Well, Thicket. Whenever you're ready, you might have to come out of your hiding place. If not, just tap. 3 times fast for no, 1 time slow for yes. If it sounds like I'm going the right direction or so forth, I'll try to ask the question so that you don't have to shift if you don't need to.
Thicket taps 3 times.
Does that mean you're ready to shift then?
He taps once.
All right. Well, then I will gently, I guess, move Thicket, hold my hand out, and set Thicket gently on the ground.
Thicket runs over to Doug.
Doug just puts down his hand for Thicket. Did I miss something? Because
What is Thicket doing? Is Thicket climbing up Doug? Still in spider form?
I'm not really sure what Garan and Gambit are doing, but I guess Garan doesn't want me on him anymore, so I'm just transferring to
You
Doug.
just climb onto Doug?
Oh, maybe there was a miscommunication. So, I know that sometimes my thing goes out, but I said three quick times for no, 1 slow time for yes, and then you seem
Basically
to tap no,
establishing
you don't want that.
Basically establishing a form of communication.
Yeah, and you seem to tap 3 times no, which made me think that you didn't want to be there anymore.
You said 3 times was yes.
No, 3 times
3
quick
times
is no.
yes, 1 time slow is no.
No, sorry for the confusion. The other way. So, all right, so that didn't happen. So Thicket's still on my shoulder.
Thicket's on Garan. Thicket runs back over and climbs back on Garan's shoulder.
Okay. That's fine. So yeah, just retcon it. And I'll just be like, so just be ready to, pick up on any subtle cues that I'm gonna miss, because you're much better at this than I am. So I'll need your support.
Thicket indicates yes. Can you guys hear me?
Thicket indicates yes.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. Everything was just silent.
So what is Garan doing?
At this point, it's just waiting then until either of us gets back. Yeah, I mean, that was enough.
Okay, that was it? Okay. Another 20 or so minutes pass. You have about 10 minutes left before you will forcibly revert. Thicket. And as you wait, the woman comes back. Yes. She requested that while she is currently busy, she says she's in a meeting, or has a meeting at the moment. She asked if you could use the, if you have anything to drop off, anything to send to her, to go ahead and do so, or I guess you can wait. I don't know when she gets done with her meeting, but if you want to wait, I guess you can talk to her whenever she finishes up.
Yes, I think that this is a more sensitive subject than originally discussed. So, yes, is there a side room that we might wait in, or something?
Sure, I can lead you off to
Along
one
the
of the
lines.
meeting rooms, and she'll join you whenever she's ready, I suppose. Follow me. She leads
Thank
you
you very
down through a couple of the hallways in the office. Of course. And leads you off to one side and opens a door to a fairly small meeting room. 8 chairs around a small table. A small table off to the side that has an empty pitcher and a few glasses. Would you like some water? I can go fill it up if you'd like.
I'm fine. I don't know if the rest are parched, but thank you.
All right. Let me know if you need anything. He closes the door and heads back out.
All right. Kid, if you want to stay a spider, you could just change back once the time runs out.
All right. How long are you choosing to wait here?
I mean, I think that if this girl is in danger, then we need to be like, look, it's not as simple as you might think it is, and see where she's at. Basically, I'm trying to get a read on, like, is she trying to eliminate, like, work competition and get, like, more promotion status, or does she genuinely think that this guy is in the wrong, and she just doesn't have all the information, so she's just trying to do what's right by her company,
All right.
Thicket hops down and turns back.
What do you do in the time that you wait for her?
And we could try to decipher some of those things.
There
But
are
I don't know how we
4
go about
other
that.
letters in Gambit's possession.
Oh, well, yeah, let's see if we can solve it. Maybe there's some sort of puzzle or whatnot. And I'll
Alright.
show what I have about Dreamflake or whatever.
Okay. Gambit will share the rest of the letters.
Okay, starting with the earliest dated one, dated from the previous year. It is dated on the 7th of August. It says, would you like to read this?
You go ahead. My reading brain might be shot.
That's okay. Ulrich, I know things have been Ulrich, I know things have been rough with your new job, but I know how smart you are and that the couriers must see it too. I know that before long you'll be managing and maybe even be able to open that inn you'd always talked about. Keep your head up and away from the bottle. I know Mom and Dad are sick, but we need to be there for them while we can. On a separate and happy note, I've been seeing a half-elf man named Persilith. He's so kind and caring, an absolute gentleman. I know you wouldn't want to hear me gush on and on, but I want you to know that he is caring and makes me happy. I hope he and I will have a future together. Stay strong and work hard. Your loving sister, Linnea Moore. The next one is dated on the 1st of the year, 4/17. Ulrich, this is wonderful. Persilith proposed last night at the change of the new year, just like I'd been hoping. We hope to have the wedding early February, and I really hope you'll be there. I know things have been especially hard on you with Mom and Dad passing, but I hope this celebration will be a turn of luck, something to raise our spirits and remind us we still have a future, that our past has been taken. Loving sister, Linnea Morning. And there is the wedding invitation, specifying the wedding on Friday, the 10th of February, in the Chapel of 3 Divines, in the Dusk Quarter of Sheer, with her sending money and marking how it would have made their parents. And then it is the next letter is dated for the 17th of February, which currently it is March 20th, on a fairly not cloudy day, a fairly light day. But back in February 17th, oh, Ulrich, things are difficult. Everything seemed so lovely on the honeymoon, and the wedding went so perfectly. I'm so very happy you could show up. But just a few days ago, the warehouse Perthless worked as a guard for went under. Between some of the savings being used up at the wedding and now the sudden change, I worry about the coming days. Now I know how you are, and no, we won't accept any Now I know how you are, and no, we won't accept any generosity you have. I know you have your own debts to deal with, as much as at the wedding. You said as much at the wedding. But we all must keep our heads up. If we keep moving forward, we'll all be okay, just like Mom said. Loving sister, Linnea Yesveen. There was the letter from House of the RP. And the last letter, dated on the 24th of February, 1 week after the previous one Linnea had sent. Ulrich, I have wonderful news. Persilith has been accepted for a job working as a guard on the wall, and as I understand it, it's a fairly safe job and pays well, so we're actually considering getting a house in the Dust Corridor. A nice little home for the family we hope to have. Praise the twins for their blessings. Keep faith, my dear brother. I know the gods have a plan for you. Keep your head up and all will be well. Your loving sister, Linnea Yesveen. That is the most recent letter that has been sent.
Can you share those last two so that I can also read them?
Yeah, I can share the last two again. Yes. I'll just send them all in order. So there was the first one, second wedding invitation, third from Linnea, House of the RP, fourth from Linnea. All in all, there are 6 letters spanning from August 7th, 416, all the way to February 24th, seeming to get more common closer it is to time.
This is just a speculation, but I wonder if this Percival dude is a plant, and like he was asked to get close to the sister to use as a leverage.
I suppose that's certainly possible, but there's not an exceptional amount of information indicating that. Unfortunately, there are so many shorthand things here. Let's see if we can look over these and see if we can maybe solve something.
All right. Since it's 9:11, bad timing. Let's go ahead and take our 10-minute break, and during that time, if y'all want to keep looking at the letters, I also might go ahead and I might try and find a way to open them for for YouTube. Then again, anyone going back can scroll up and watch, read them all. But we can take that 10 minutes. That way, y'all can have time to look over it, and I can grab water or anything. And 9:21 is. Yes, I did write 6 individual letters and date them all. And I guess Garon can probably mention these things as well. His are a little more obvious about what they're up to. Oh. Legs.
One thing of shipping sign-offs. And it says DF, and it says scribbled on the back of one. It says Dreamflake question mark in large letters. And then okay, the stack of manifests. It says written with shorthand jargon. Seem to be 2 sets almost identical, but with different receipts. Can we compare the stack of manifests with the shorthand jargon to the letter with the shorthand from the HRP, or the House of RP?
You can. You would notice that the shorthand that seems to match from House of RP. House of RP is not written anywhere. Miss D is not written anywhere on the manifest or anything. But there are similar shorthand that match what seem to be the locations. Though there isn't necessarily a guide, the basically 2-letter marks CQ, KN, CR, CC, DK, BS, and toward SH, DT, RF, GS, and GN is the same type of shorthand used in the manifest. It seems to be referring to... it's part of effectively an address, where it says that shorthand, a shorthand of what seems to be an area or a street, and then recipients, usually just a last name of some recipient. Ones for, Smith or Eleazar, or like if Evanstar was on there, that it would just say Evanstar instead of Garon necessarily on the actual shipping thing itself, though the individual item might have. But it appears that the 2-letter notes do seem to reflect locations. I probably should have had you roll intelligence to see if I could tell you that, but it would only take more. It's more of a time thing. Look at it long enough, you're gonna see, hey, that's the same letters.
Well, I mean, it's hard sometimes to mitigate player intelligence versus character intelligence. Yeah. But I mean, I don't know, play the game. Run it how you want. I figured this out. Is there enough information to give me any more clues, any more insight on what might be pertinent? Is there anything else that I can? Because obviously, you didn't want to write out the entirety of everything. Because
I thought about putting in effort to make a full manifest, but I was like, that might be a bit much. I don't know that I need multiple pages of manifest.
Okay. So yeah, so if there's something else that I'm supposed to maybe garner that, like, maybe translates for how you interpreted what you were saying, but maybe doesn't necessarily translate for how we're understanding or seeing it, if that makes sense.
Make an intelligence check. Cool, let me just share this with you. Yeah. That's the rest of what I'm gonna give you.
Helps at all? I did think it was the map, so
yeah, I was like,
I'm going
to have a map of every city in that.
Yeah. So I'm going to like it's gonna kind of dawn on Garon that he's starting to he's seeing the pattern, and so he busts out his map, and he starts he takes one finger towards the ledger or the letter with all the abbreviations, and he takes the other finger to the map, and he starts connecting the dots while everybody's watching.
All right, I'm also going to, for the purposes of this, just to make it a little bit easier to, I'm going to temporarily remove grid. A little easier to read.
Are we still on break right now?
Yeah. I just figured since you wanted to look at it. Go ahead. It seems Chris is still on investigation mode.
Just so you know, puzzles is one of my favorite things. So I love how you have set this up, and yeah, I legitimately do logic puzzles for fun and
Dude,
extra time when I have it.
I have a logic puzzle app on my phone. I also have Killer Sudoku. They're great for chilling, especially because they're often easy enough to do in 5 or 10 minutes, but difficult enough to take your full attention for those 5 or 10 minutes.
Can I put in the main Lunar Archon thread what I'm showing? Like, basically, I want to more or less better connect the puzzle for everyone else, just in case they're either gone and didn't hear what I said, or they don't follow.
How about session highlights? Seems a little more appropriate. That way it's there if you need to go back and look at it easier. Funny that the week I happen to choose to make the week that I happen to make Cedar the thumbnail is one when Abby's not here. I'm excited for Friday to go see the Mario movie. Me and my brothers are going to see it. And I think the last time me and all my brothers were in the same spot to see a movie was like Age of Ultron. While back. I do hope the recording doesn't have any issues, because it says we've been streaming. Weird, because it says live for 32 minutes, recording for 25. There's definitely been on for a little longer than that. Make sure it's still catch everything. Does it seems? I really hope it's not. Or I hope it's not dropping information because I clicked on a different page. Should be okay. I'll have to check after. I guess worst case, we say sorry, we lost a stream. Okay, on the stream it says we've been live for an hour now, so it might just be the OBS being a little funky.
Any chance that Nat 20 may have indicated that Miss D being in charge of something, or DC being another name for another town?
That's up to you to decide what you think those might mean. I mean, they seem to be referring to something with, like, maybe a group or a city or something with DC, and Miss D seems to be referring to a person. Okay, Jack, Jason, are y'all on your way back?
Yes.
Cool. Then we return. Well, I guess, Mori, are you here?
I am.
Wonderful. We return as another 30 minutes pass, and you have not yet heard from her, as Garon seems to be looking at the different letters, and at one point asks Thicket for the map.
Am I carrying the map?
I thought you were, but I could be wrong.
Makes
I
sense
guess
for
that
either
makes
you or
sense.
Cedar to have it, because you guys are always
Yeah.
keeping.
That was my thought. But assuming you give it to him, he seems to be interested in it.
Garand ends up with the map.
Garon has the map now.
Dump. Everybody go look in session highlights.
As he is looking through it, he seems to remark something to you all. What do you have to share with the group?
All right, so most of these I've recognized. I saw the pattern, and I've... Alright, it says divert critical resources from Yakina, Keenite, Coral Calcite, Dike, and Basalt, and shift towards Schist, Delta Reef, Goss, and Nice, or Nice, depending on how you like to pronounce it, I suppose. And then I'm unsure about DC, what that is, or where, and Miss D, I'm not certain who that might be. So, if any of you can think of any of the leaders of any of these places, it could be. Also, it's possible that since DC is capitalized, it could be that those are two cities. The Discord and, let's say, Dyke and Calcite, for example. Don't know that those are the ones, but let's say those two. And Miss D could be the lady of Dyke who runs it, or possibly Delta. Maybe they want to help Delta get the money, but then they want to put their own person in charge? Something along those lines. Anyway, those are my thoughts presently.
And while he pulls those out, he does pull out a stack of manifests that seem to be written with shorthand and jargon, with two different sets of near-identical manifests, with different recipients on each.
Gambit to stick his... Wait, when is the one with all the letters? When is that one? When was that one dated? Sorry, don't...
Philip, it should be listed on the thing. You mean the letter from the House of the RP?
Yeah, hold on, let me see.
That was dated this year, 4/17, February 19th.
And what is it today?
It is March 20th. A full month later at this.
The 19th. Okay, all right. Gibbet's gonna stick his head out to the front desk person.
Okay.
And be like, hey, has anyone been unseated recently?
You mean in upper management?
No, like in the government. Or upper management. That works
I guess
too.
I mean they're kind of same thing. Miss Darvishi's the Lord of Schist. We actually pride ourselves. This is the most successful business overall in Schist. It brings in the most overall money. That, and it's a company that goes over the entire country, so it's quite well respected. But not that I know of. I think all the lords have been at least a couple of years. I believe the most recent. I think I heard something about the leader of Dyke a couple of years ago. Traded hands, but I don't know the details of it.
Thank you. You have been so helpful.
Of course. Is Miss Darvishi not with you yet?
Oh, not yet, but
Okay.
don't worry. We've occupied ourselves, so we can wait.
Of course. I'll remind her that you're here.
All right. Gambit goes back and shares the information.
Okay, so at that moment, like, Garon's just like, he looks like a kid at Christmas. He's like so excited and happy. He's just waiting for her to leave, and he's looking back and he's ha ha ha. And so she's going like,
you did it.
DC, Da Vinci Couriers, Ms. D. Okay, all right. So
you solved mystery.
Things. Thanks to you.
Oh, it was nothing. All these letters, they sure are letters. But I'm glad you figured them out. All right. This is why we make a good team.
And is Garon going to share the shipping sign-offs as well? If so, I'll share the message.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, Garon also, in the stack of documents, there's a collection of shipping sign-offs. with materials written in shorthand, usually DF, scribbled on the back of one sign-off is Dreamflake ? In large letters. Each sign-off is signed by Rehane Darvishi. So, Cedar says, I don't understand. What's going on? There are cities. And
Okay, so Rusty was right about him doing these things that he's doing. He's basically funneling money, or possibly goods, but I'm assuming it's money, from these towns and going to these other towns, and he's been trying to disrupt the company, Davichi Couriers, and in some way begin to frame the lady who owns it. It's her company, Miss Davichi.
Mm-hmm.
So
wait, I just got the information that the Lord of Dyke just changed hands. Did Miss D stand for the Lord of Dyke?
No. I don't think so. I think Miss D is Rehane Davichi. I believe that framing her maybe is close to happening. Because the way that the desk person was speaking, it seemed evident that had not happened yet. That Mr. Davichi is still in power, unless I missed something.
All right. All right.
you hear a knock on the door.
Hello.
Door opens, and you see Rusty step in. Hey,
Okay.
what are y'all doing here?
Get in, close the door, please. Get in quickly,
Alright.
please. Close the door.
Steps in and closes the door.
All right.
He sees all the documents and goes to sit down. Okay. Please explain.
So, all right. Firstly,
It's nice to
has
see
there been-
a new set of heroes in town.
Oh yes, this is totally the first time that we have ever met.
I
And
saw you at the market, but we didn't talk that long.
Yeah. Well, we stumbled upon some information that we think that you might like to know.
Wonderful.
So here it is. He looks like Garand.
Duran, like, it takes a moment for it to, like, trigger, like, to, like, he's like, oh yeah, and then, like, you know. In fact,
Don't worry.
actually, like,
Right.
lightning bolt with, like, a spark of lightning just appears above his head. Says, right, so we've come across some information that might be of use to your company. Apparently, someone's family has been in danger and has been threatened. And this has caused this person to disrupt your organization. So perhaps there might be a way to get this person to turn on their blackmailers of sorts, or extortionists. I guess extortion is the right word. And then maybe turn all this around into a much better scenario. And then I will more quietly, like, connect the dots for her, explaining as necessary, but kind of like silently pointing out the towns, the shorthand, how DC is probably, and I'm gonna point about, like, her and, like, do, like, a circle maneuver with my hand, like, the whole building, indicating, like, the company, and then Miss D be like her like with a thumbs up, like, boss, you know, like, I'm trying to keep it, like, so yeah.
So, you believe that Ulrich, based on these letters as she looks at them, is being blackmailed by this House of RP to effectively commit delivery fraud. That's probably the way to put it, most likely. On behalf of this group, these... Oh dear. He looks to locating these locations and cause issues for Miss Darvishi.
Yeah, it's the long and short of it.
See. And I assume you have a recommendation for how this should be handled.
Well, we didn't get that far just yet because, it took a moment for everything to kind of fall into place. But I believe if we can get Ulrich and maybe convince him to effectively be the mole and give us the rest of all the information that we might need to be able to take them down, and thereby rescue him, his sister, and ostensibly the brother-in-law, who may or may not be involved. The idea has come across that maybe the timing was too perfect, but effectively figure this out in such a way that maybe only the people who were truly trying to do wrong versus the person who thought that he had no other option. I think that might deserve like a punishment, maybe like suspended 6 months without pay, and then he comes back after that time, provided he's been successful in helping, or maybe a demotion to like a courier or something, so that he can prove his loyalty and work ethic again, something. But as opposed to just outright, we throw him in prison. I think that's that's not of benefit when clearly there's something much deeper, more sinister going on.
That's an incredibly kind perspective to take.
And
Did,
it might.
after all, still commit these crimes. Even under duress, it's not the nicest look. So I do imagine why he allowed his buttons to be pushed.
Garon kind of looks towards Thicket with the knowing eyes and says, "Well, we might all do strange things when it comes to family, friends, or what we think is the best way to protect those we care about."
Yes, I can imagine that. He looks at the letters. Oh, Ulrich. Well, I certainly can't allow him to continue working, at least not for the time being, so he'll, at the very least, be put on probation.
But hold on, please. What if we are able to convince him to be the mole? Now, if it seems like he's not willing to do that, I mean, he'd have to put himself at risk to do this, first of all. So that's a good feather in his cap, if you will. But if it seems that he's not willing to do that, then I'm 100% on board with whatever you want to do from that point forward. But I would like to give him an opportunity to save himself and his sister, and possibly again this brother-in-law if he's not part of the scheme.
And you came across these things purely by happenstance, right? You found these letters and materials?
Yeah. We were repairing a door, and we happened to see them.
Wonderful. Well, we won't know for absolute sure on whether or not he will work with us on this, unless we can get him in here. But the absolute least, I will ask for some well-meaning guards to escort him here for his protection. Make sure that he's well taken care of should anyone ask what's going on. That he is simply being escorted due to a recent, really say, threat that would cause issue. Let's see, she seems to be as she taps her chin and thinks. Ruffles her hair to the side, your ears twitch, her tail move behind her. Let's say...
You don't ever bring him in just to like have like a company meeting or anything?
Not
Nothing?
under guard. I'd rather make sure he comes. I also don't want to tip off anyone that something would be going wrong on either direction, because I don't really want the public's trust to be hampered, and I don't want whoever's putting him up to this, if they're watching him, to know what's going on. He's currently, he'd be at a warehouse not too far.
Why can't we just go get him?
The thing is, a set of armed adventurers going to bring him here would it potentially be bad for the company or for his safety, should anyone be watching him. Let me simply send a basic dispatch that Mr. Vishu would like to speak to him, and that should get his response. Assuming he still believes he's innocent and not found out, it should be nothing but a simple formality. It's not uncommon for Mr. Vishu to meet with most of her employees, especially the ones of managerial staff. I'll be right back.
Perfect. Excellent.
He steps out the door and heads off opposite direction of the secretary. After a few minutes, she returns. I've sent word to him. It's 10 minutes, maybe 20 if he has to close things down. He'll be back relatively soon, though. As she goes and looks at the letters, and she's paying particular attention to the cities. Let's see. Best option. Can't leave him working necessarily if we can't trust him.
So I'm the sister. Where is Sheer?
Sheer is it's one of the 4 major cities. That's off to the east. Technically, you can get there by boat, but from here, it's not very efficient, as you effectively have to go around one continent or another. So we send most of our trade directly there, usually going through Feldspar and Miocene for security purposes, especially because then we can have multiple deliveries at once. But it's a coastal city.
Just a proposal. We left you to handle Ulrich, and we left to Sheer and went there to make sure that the sister didn't reach any harm.
Potentially good idea, especially since even if I sent word there, if you're right about the suspicion with the husband, I do find it slightly odd that he seemed to have magically gotten a job a week after this was sent there. It may be unrelated, but an odd feeling about it. If they have the power to get him a job on the guard, I don't know that sending a letter will be enough. That'd be the simplest answer, is to go send... I do actually know a guard captain in Sheer. He's fairly trustworthy. He could probably arrange her safety, with or without the husband. And honestly, it'd probably be better after this is handled in one way or the other, assuming he is allowed to be free, to send Ulrich the messenger to her. that he's among family and can get a fresh start somewhere else, because I don't know that we could trust him in the business even as a courier. I do understand his position and that he was a difficult spot. He could have come to me, he could have come to someone else. Mr. Vichy. Oh.
I mean, I don't disagree that there was a better way that maybe could have handled, but I don't know about you, but I don't always get everything right the first time.
Most definitely. Mistakes are quite common. I've been running a business for years, I should know. I guess in the meantime, I suppose, since you're new here, I should, on behalf of Darvishi Couriers, offer not a reward, necessarily, after all, you're just doing your civil duty, a welcoming gift to adventurers and Gist. Yes, I'll go ahead and do that as she reaches into her pouch and pulls out 6 small pouches. Yes, I believe this is all quite reasonable. Given your findings and other information you may find useful. I believe 20 gold apiece is acceptable.
Me.
Oh no, that's a very kind and generous welcoming gift. Thank you so much. And there's a reason why we heard Davichi carriers were the ones to look out for.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we've made quite a name for ourselves. I'm gonna go ahead and divvy those out. Should be 20 gold a person. Your non-payment.
Mm-hmm.
And when we were talking the other day, you said you were missing sword. You were looking for swords. Tell me about them. How many? What are they like?
Was it 4 or was it 6? I'm sorry.
Six, wasn't it?
It's 4.
What was that thicket?
It was 4.
4. And you said they were made with a gemstone. A serrated edge?
And they look kind of like keys.
I disagree about the key look, and, well, I suppose that's a little bit of information for you off the bat, but I'm giving you the rest of it. I have seen gemstone blades before. Particularly in the magic world, they are somewhat rare, but they do occur. Full blades of gemstone are fairly expensive, though individual gemstones and pommels are more common. However, the serrated edge, the way you described, and the gemstones is not common. I unfortunately only have information about 2 swords I've seen that are like this. For information on the others, well, I don't know exactly where you go. If you're looking in the myths and legends side of things, then I guess maybe Vane? The Lord Librarian is there. She might have more information for you. In terms, if you're looking through old books and things, she would be the one to ask, though I know it's a bit of a trek. In terms of the other 2, I have seen 2 blades. Somewhat matching the description you... First... is actually, is in Sheer, oddly enough that we're speaking about it. The Lord there, I recall, is a blade to make sure my notes are right. I don't want to get things wrong on important story stuff. My note. Chapter 14? I think it's chapter 4. Here we go. Yes, this yellow gemstone. I'm not totally sure which one it was. It was a fairly translucent blade. You could almost see through the blade. The Lord of Lord of Sheer, Selzander Darik. I believe he was the bearer of this. At least the one that I saw. It may not be the one you're looking for. But, and I'm putting the name in chat. Put it in both chats. Oop. Selzander Darik. He had one. The other that I saw was actually being wielded by another lord. I did note they are remarkably similar. This one was a very light blue, opaque, almost cloud-like. It was being held by Lord Tsunada Tatsui, the Lord of Nace. I'm sorry that they're with people who are unlikely to give them up, but where they are.
Sorry, it was you said nice, the G and E one.
I believe Micah
And what was the
believes
first?
that it's pronounced Nace, but he could be wrong.
Okay. But okay, it's that one for the second one. What was the first one?
Tsunada Tatsui, Lord of Nace, Blue Gemstone Blade, and Selzander Darik, Lord of Sheer, Yellow Gemstone Blade.
And do these match the gemstones that we were having issues with that were?
What a good question. Did you take notes? Do y'all remember what the gemstones were on the door?
I know that helps.
Yeah, I had to look at it.
I have them written down somewhere.
Okay, cool. I'm glad somebody takes notes in this party.
Occasionally, not often.
Thankfully,
Yeah,
you can
I
always go
should.
back and watch.
It is a green serpentine, yellow chrysolite, an orange red vanadinite. I think I said that wrong.
Yep,
and a light blue
Vanadinite.
angelite with magic
Nice.
of abjuration, evocation, and illusion. I believe that is on the door.
It would have been, yeah, those are the different enchantments on the door itself, yeah.
Not really on the gems necessarily.
On the gems themselves, since you would have seen it, I can tell you, I believe all 4 of them had evocation.
Makes sense.
They all did things. They evoked things. Yes, I hope this is helpful.
Hurt me.
If it helps, the blades do match. I witnessed both of them, and they are remarkably similar. I don't know if anyone else picked up. I definitely did. Is there anything else I can help you with as far as that's concerned? I wish I had more information. It's not always the easiest to get, especially about magical blades. We were lucky enough that I'd seen them in the first place. If I didn't know them, I would have had to spend some time searching for information. And I still can for potential other blades, but those are the only 2 I remember.
You have done enough welcoming us into. I think that we've established a mutual mutual exchange of trust and information here. So
I guess do you know the name, like the titles of lords? I don't know if any of you are from Vacuo or not. I don't know if it's relevant.
We know Lord Udrathel.
Ah, the Wise Lord.
Yeah.
Eldrithel's good. He's a bit old. Well, not really. He just acts that way. I don't know if it makes any difference. Selander is the Sun Lord, and Sonata is the Dreaming Lord. Are their official titles. As you all sit a moment, there is a knock on the door. Yes? You requested me? Yes, come in. As the door opens, you see a fairly disheveled human man. Looks to be probably about 35, 37. Steps in. Do. Make sure that I said that right. I think he's human. Now I gotta find out if I'm wrong. Now I've brought attention to the fact that I could be wrong. I just said it, no one would have questioned me. Too late now. Do. He's a human, yeah. You see a heavier human man with a beard and somewhat long hair, several inches, steps in. His clothes are a little bit disheveled and dirtied. And he does have a clipboard he seems to have brought with him. Please, sit down, he says. Of course. He looks to all of you. Did something happen? Ulrich. Did you receive any suspicious letters recently? He is going to roll persuasion. He's going to roll wisdom. I guess charisma. As he looks into her eyes. Yes. I did. Alright. And I suppose I don't need to hold back. These kind fellows have found a series of letters, and we believe that your sister is in danger. As you can see, without any insight check, he seems quite worried. A blackmail of sorts, or at least coercion, threatening your sister from this house. Now, as I understand it, in the previous days you worked here, you've been a fairly fine employee. Garand, would you like to give your idea?
Firstly, you have my sympathies. It appears that you have been extorted, and apparently for some time. It seems that you've had a rough run, your sister as well, and you've been effectively cooking the books, as they say. Now, it's possible that your brother-in-law may have nothing to do with this, or his placement, is just very coincidental. But either way, if you want to get out of this without too much further ill coming to you or your sister, we'd like to help you. Our group, we like to right wrongs and be of service. So, if you think that you could turn your double agent status with DC, and I'm gonna overemphasize the DC, and instead become the chaotic corruption within the House of RP, then think we might be able to work something that's much more beneficial for you and your sister, and hopefully your brother-in-law. I do hope he's not involved, but if you're willing to do that, we'd like to help you. But you're going to have to tell us everything.
Looks over. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean for anything. I got the letter and I know what to do. Hans. You should have come to me first, Ulrich. Know that. Word that hurt her. I understand. From the beginning. Yeah. I mean, it hasn't been that long. Been just under a month. It's 3-4 weeks. I got this letter in the mail. I've been having some issues with making bad decisions, bad investments. Money's been disappearing. Not literally, I've wandered it. But I got this letter, and you've already read it, and then the next day, after I'd received it and I'd read it, there was a lockbox on my door. It had enough money to pay off the debts to keep my house. And, I mean, I knew it was serious then. Took the money. I shouldn't have. I took it. And I started making these up and sending the materials and money and food and whatever else I could manage to safely change the destination of. Sorry for... He looks over and drops his head a bit. Sorry for trying to frame you. I've been doing that. They haven't given me any more information. I haven't seen them anymore. It's just in the one payment, and guess they're expecting me to cooperate for the definite future. I guess they bailed me out and have the threat of my sister. I've been keeping up. I haven't seen their faces. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what will happen next. I don't know exactly what you want me to do. I just keep going to work. I don't know even how they know. Here. They've already heard her. As you see a bit of panic enter.
Sounds almost certainly then that your brother-in-law is involved.
And maybe. Anea seemed so confident in him. I met him at the wedding, he seemed so fine. He was a nice guy.
Well,
I guess anyone can...
con artists and optimists will do that. You know, you don't typically go up to the thing with, you know, the devilish look and say, "Oh, I can't wait to serve you." No, it's the jovial and friendly types that can take better advantage of someone. If you're not able to help us, I don't know how much we're going to be able to help you, but I think that we might be able to at least save your sister. I don't know how you're going to move forward from this. Mr. Vici.
Oh, I guess I should, now that you know, properly introduce myself. Hello. Officially, I am the Merchant Lord of Fist. Rehane Davishi. A pleasure to meet you, messengers.
Just in case I've missed this at all, Rusty is the.
That's what she just said.
Okay, all right. I just want
Sorry,
to make sure I was.
I don't tend to give that information unless it's necessary for a deal of some kind. Typically, if I can maintain the facade of a normal employee, it tends to help things along a bit smoother. So, there is some power in being known as the Lord.
And I think if you can get word to this third party in Shia to maybe keep an eye and yeah, you might this one might just have to
It seems quite simply, well, I guess there's two arguments to be made. There is potential that your sister's fine, that they don't know anything has happened, whoever these people are, in which case, it would not be good for them to know what's happened, Ulrich. And so I will need, for at least the next few days, for you to maintain your facade, to act as an employee without doing anything illegal, please. The next few days, will I go ahead and send a messenger with a horse here to talk to an old friend of mine and to give warning to your sister to hide out. I don't know whether or not she will, whether or not her husband is safe or not. If we'll see if my friend can convince her to leave him for a few days. And in a few days from now, I will legally pass judgment. Assuming this is an acceptable term for you, Ulrich, instead of jail time, you will be sent with one of my couriers to Sheer to see your sister, and with a little bit of money, but the Vichy couriers will take possession of your house and sale it as payment of a fine for your action, because while you were coerced, it still was not the right thing to do. And so, you get a new life. Justice is maintained. If all goes well, sister will be safe. Do we have an understanding, Ulrich? As he looks up, as you do see, there are some tears in his eyes. Yes, Rusty. Whatever you need. I don't know much savings left. They were in the same lockbox this documents were in. I have those as well. I guess I'll just leave them in the house. Thank you. He looks over to Garand. Thank you for your mercy. I don't deserve this. Now, she says, return to your work. If anyone asks, I simply had to ask you a few questions about the security and maintenance of Warehouse 12. Understood. Yes, ma'am. Stands up, wipes his eyes off, gives you all the faintest of smile, steps out the doorway.
I'm looking at Thicket. Has Thicket been like keeping an eye on him this whole time? What does Thicket think?
What's Thicket been
Thicket
doing?
doesn't
Thicket's
like
been-
being in the same room as Rusty.
Ooh. Well, now I, Micah, am curious.
What?
Well, now I, Micah, am curious why, but you don't have to tell us, unless you just want to. But if Thicket seems uncomfortable,
Rusty's just very not straightforward, and Thicket doesn't like that.
fair. I also need for Garand and Gambit to both make charisma saving throws.
The sudden reveal of her being a lord or whatever was not helpful to
Oh
her
yeah, I'm sure.
not being shifty.
There's a reason she has proficiency in deception. And expertise in persuasion. Alright, Garand, you passed the mystery saving throw, though you would not be aware of it. Gambit, I need you to make a charisma save. Which you'll probably also pass, because you're
She
also
must
pretty
hate-
charisma.
She must hate Garon because Garon has not failed once.
Hate is a strong word. Her feelings are hard to tell. None of you have even tried to make an insight check on her.
Fair enough.
Which,
That's what I was
honestly, is
hoping
kind of
Thicket was going to
surprising.
do about what's his name.
For-
I
That's
tried,
fine.
but I kept failing. Remember, I can't.
Did
That's
you?
not my thing.
Oh, you kept trying to tell what's going on with her. She's like, nah, I got deception, persuasion. Both of you definitely pass the save, and I will. What are you trying to insight about her?
Well, that was actually for the other guy to. That was actually for the other guy to see.
What are you
if
trying to insight
it's
about
being
Ulrich
sincere.
while he was here? He was
Yeah.
sincere.
Yeah, the best that he can tell.
He seemed sincere. With his different body movements, they didn't seem forced, they didn't seem unnatural. He seemed genuinely scared and concerned. Well, he looks over. Is there anything I can do for you, messenger? I highly appreciate your gift, this information. Given his cooperation, I highly doubt there will be any need for you during court proceedings. I'd still likely prefer you to be in town for the next several days, unless you plan to immediately go to Sheer to try and look for his sister. If that's the case, I will make an exception, but just in case there's legal reason to call upon you, I'd like you to be nearby, but I expect he will be a very cooperating witness.
I think that we should leave for Sheer soon, but we also were looking into another matter.
Of course. Sure. There are definitely some things adventurers like to get up to. In this town. I guess as the Lord, I'd also mention, find out anything about smuggling operations. They've been a bit of a thorn recently. If you find out anything regarding that, I would appreciate information, bringing you to justice, preferably alive. Anything like that while you're here would be appreciated, and you'll be paid accordingly. But you've already done quite a bit for the town, so if you wish to leave it up to our guards and other adventurers, you are welcome to. Obviously, I have no favors owed from you. Seem to have a very balanced checkbook with you at the moment.
Oh, and since the money that he had was effectively earned by stealing from you, I'd like to give my portion of it, Gambit, to.
I don't know if you saw Gambit take the money.
Oh,
Gambit, did you do it secretly, or
But-
did
but-
you did it where they could see?
but he just said, but when he left, he said, "Oh, and all the rest of my money was in that lockbox."
Yes. So I guess Garon could assume. Yeah.
my share might only be like 2 gold. I have no, I mean, that's
Yeah,
up to
Gambit.
Gambit, but
What do you say? What do you do?
Gambit is on mute.
Gambit, are you on mute on purpose? Or on acts of purpose?
It's a purpose.
Okay.
I was on mute on purpose, but then I thought I muted it. Okay, give him all of his stuff back.
You pull out the pouch and lay it on the table.
Here's your stuff back and your letters. They seem to be important, and also evidence for court.
Yes, I'll definitely be taking these with me. And the money, if I can manage it, I'd prefer it to... I'll split it in half. One half will go with him to his sister, though I doubt I'll mention it to him. And the other half will be given to those needy within the city. I can't in good conscience take that. But I appreciate you returning it to us. Someone who needs it.
Whenever you are. This town is very lucky to have you among its leaders.
I appreciate that, but I am a utilitarian at heart. But still appreciate the sentiment. Well, if there's nothing else from you all, I do have some other meetings I have to attend to today. With that, unless one of you stop her, she will stand up and exit the room. Feel free to stay here as long as you need. But obviously not the whole day. We have other uses for this room. We have other meetings going on. And she will exit.
Yeah.
You are left in silence. Meeting.
Well, I don't know how well it's going to go for us, but I'm pretty sure we're going to liberate some cities.
Like it.
That reminds Micah of something. He steps back in. Remind me, why are you looking for these swords again? And are you willing to kill to get them?
Just when we get to
I imagine like this scene is like all of us are looking at each other, just like not sure who's gonna say what, and we're just like all like.
This is entirely hearsay, and I could be wrong. Not, but I could be. Those letters and those locations. The choice of cities does not seem arbitrary, and clearly this House of RP has some kind of favoritism. As such, if I'm right, depending on what goes down, not exactly sure who is the leader of this house, but depending on the next couple of months, most likely, I would just be prepared to take sides in a war.
Well, I think that the fact that they are trying to shift resources to your town under your nose indicates.
Highly doubt. Well, if it's from here, I don't know that they would be changing resources from somewhere else to here. It's SH. It could be here. I don't know. Maybe there's someone in the town who's trying to take my spot.
Oh, I see what you mean. So, okay. I had a town wrong. That makes sense. That makes more sense.
I just personally think it's more likely to be sheer.
Now, that makes more sense.
I could be wrong, but I doubt it. Sorry, I don't mean to blow away your theory, but
No,
just,
no, no.
you're adventurers. I recommend being ready if a lord calls you to take a side.
Don't want to pick sides.
Well,
Oh,
you could
wow.
always avoid it as much as possible. If they're going up against the queen, I highly doubt they'll win, but I'm not sure how much damage they'll do. Meantime, Estrella is not someone to be trifled with, especially not with Simon at her side. But yes, that's all I've got. Just let me know if you need anything else. And she's going to roll an insight check. In general, against if any of y'all are giving any indication of basically of having anything to ask and say before. Maybe you don't. Maybe she's trying to get a gauge on the group of how y'all feel towards her.
Well, Doug's gonna ask.
Yeah.
Hey, before you go, do you happen to know anything about iron or what was it? I'm asking Micah. The
metal.
yeah,
White iron.
white.
It's expensive, hard to get your hands on. If I were looking for it, I'd probably go up toward vacuum or basalt. Haven't had any come through schist in a while. It's not a very common material. Yeah, if you wanted to get it from a source, I could potentially try and get it shipped to you, but that would also be potentially a week or a month from now. I don't know if you'll be in town. But I'd recommend Vacua over Basalt to try and get it from. If there's any to be mined, that's where you'll find it. So I guess technically Tecton might have access to some, but I don't know. I don't tend to deal that terribly much. And are any of you trying to be deceptive or not show her how you feel toward her?
Nope.
Gambit, how do you feel toward her?
He did really like her, but now he's on the fence because she just doesn't like. She seems like her heart's in a good place, but she's very harsh, which makes her a good leader, but makes her kind of hard to get along with.
Okay, suspicious, but aware. That's Maverick.
Mhm.
Maverick's not here. Garon, how do you feel toward her?
I mean, I don't have any reason to hide. In this case, I feel safe with my friends and whatnot. So, effectively, it seems pretty obvious that I don't think on the same level. So I think similar to Gambit, a little bit
Hesitant, neutral.
yeah, but I mean, ultimately, like, I'm on her side because she did hear us out. She did find a common ground compromise whereby the guy didn't have to go through the worst possible situation after being extorted for his sister. Like, yeah. So, I mean, that she could show mercy at all. I mean, so he's cool with her, but that love spark, it has faded away.
Oof.
Yeah, she needs
Go
to
Ron,
be.
The party will
Sorry.
remember this happened when. You can bet.
She needs to be. She's the business love interest in a Hallmark movie.
Oof. Doug,
Facts.
I
need to go to the farm.
Well? You need to go. You need to go find the farm girl, the magic farm girl.
Specifically during Christmas time.
Yes.
I mean,
hey, Yule parties are a thing here. It's just 8 months away, or 10 months away.
I feel like the winds of spring are bringing about change, and so I need new love to blossom and
New love.
flourish.
Doug.
It'll be a rare Easter film.
Yeah. Doug, are you neutral as well?
Yeah, he's pretty neutral.
And Thicket, I assume you are not hiding your dislike.
Yeah, Thicket has never been fond of Rusty.
Yeah, yeah, she could. Well, let me know if you need anything else. I'll try and find you if there's anything in town I could use your help with. Step out the doorway.
And we all know how Cedar feels.
Yeah, Cedar is unhappy that she took
Milk
her
thief!
Milk thief for 5
Milk
minutes.
thief!
How dare?
Like, Rusty leaves, and Cedar's just, milk thief! Where's my
Milk
milk
thief,
money?
Where's my milk? Milk. What? It is now 2 o'clock. Monday, March the 20th. What would you all like?
I just
Seems to have
imagine
effectively
Peter in a Got
temporarily.
Milk t-shirt.
We do need Cedar a Got Milk t-shirt.
I
That
was
would-
just thinking about that.
The fan artly inclined of us should handle that, you know. Cough, cough.
All right.
Cough, Maury, cough, 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 Jack,
We're
cough,
looking.
cough.
We're gonna look for the amulet of restoration, lesser restoration. Correct?
Uh,
I just can't remember if that's tonight or the next night.
the official night that it was mentioned upon, you were told 2 days from now, which would put it at the night of the 21st, because you asked last night, at 1 a.m. The Amulet of Restoration is what you're looking
Mm-hmm. And when was the secret meeting?
for.
The secret meeting, the black market meeting.
That's the meeting. It's 1 a.m. on the 20th.
Oh.
Is when you were told by a minorly suspicious, but seemed to be telling the truth based on Doug's intimidation check, individual. And y'all can take effectively 2 days of downtime if you want to accomplish things across the days. I can let Maverick decide if he wants to put some effort into something, and we could move toward that time if you'd like. You do always have the option of saying, we're going to wait for X thing. Is there anything you'd like to do, or are you planning to wait until a certain...
I have no clue.
We
There's
can
so
also,
many things to do.
double-check
I'm like
tonight.
paralyzed by decision.
That's fair. Decision
Yeah.
paralysis is a thing.
Yeah.
It is 10:30. I don't know how long we want to go. So we could stop there if we want. We could keep going. If we stop there, then I'd probably let y'all decide over the week if you want to do anything over the 2 days.
I like that idea personally.
I think Doug was hoping to buy some armor of some sort.
Yeah, but
we still don't
okay.
have the 15% off.
Well, yeah, but if you're just
Thing,
buying
though.
regular armor, like unless
Yeah.
you're buying the breastplate, which is several thousand gold, your best bet is to buy non-magical armor.
Yeah, I think I was just trying to something that would increase my AC.
If we're gonna do that, if we want to finish up for the night, we can go ahead and do our outro and turn off the recording. And if we want, we can talk about armor. And if y'all have any other ideas or things you can work on, does that sound good for everyone?
Yep.
Cool. In that case, thank y'all so much for coming, YouTube. Hopefully the recording is not messed up. It shouldn't be, but OBS is looking a little funky. So hopefully it all goes okay. Don't be funky, OBS. Wait a second. What did you... Oh, and I guess now y'all know the name of a drug that exists in Vacuo. At least one.
What?
Dream Flake. which actually, based on your past, I don't know that any of you would actually know what that is. Magic weed.
Would
I don't know if your characters would know that, but yeah, magic weed.
What about would Cedar get a nature check, or would I maybe get an Arcana check?
If you want to, it would be a nature check for sure. It's a non-magic drug.
I mean, would that being a mercenary?
Maybe, but it would just be one of those things. You'd probably have picked up knowledge about it.
If it's found in the forest, Thicket knows about it.
Thicket may or may not have nibbled on some at some point.
Also, I think there's some.
He probably knows it as the "don't eat that" plant.
Don't eat that. Make you funky. Make rocks talk to you. Don't talk to rocks. Rocks aren't supposed to talk. All right, but we'll go ahead and say goodbye, YouTube. Y'all have a lovely week. Happy Easter. Blessed be the Lord. Yeah, that's all I've got. Anyone else want to say anything before we say goodbye to YouTube?
No, that's good.
And YouTube,
Good,
say
amen.
goodbye.
Hope it's a great Easter, everyone.